Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Okay, so we are discussing the solution of linear differential equation with constant coefficient. Okay, so let me recall the things we have discussed up to the last lecture. That is, we have reduced the given linear differential equation with constant coefficient into its standard form, that is in capital D form, which is phi of d into y is equal to function of x, right? Where this phi of d is a polynomial in D, this y is dependent variable and x is independent variable. So the solution of this differential equation will be the value of dependent in terms of independent. Okay, so the solution of this linear differential equation with constant coefficient is called the general solution or complete solution, and that is of the form y is equal to function of x, and that is a combination of two sub-solutions, that is complementary function plus particular integral, right? So up to the last lecture, we have discussed all the cases of complementary function, what is meant by complementary function, and how to find the complement, how to get that complementary function based on the nature of roots of auxiliary equation, right? So mainly there are two roots, real and complex, real and imaginary. So according to the nature, that is real and distinct, real and repeated, complex, distinct and complex, repeated, we have the formula for complementary function. Even we have discussed the proofs of those formulas also, why and how we are writing those formulas of complementary function. Now let us start with a particular integral, that is a very important type of sub solution, we can say, of the general solution, okay, or the complete solution. So I hope everyone has cleared the doubts about the complementary function. Is it okay with the complementary function?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the complementary function, which is very important, though the particular integral have more weightage than complementary function, but there are some methods which are completely based on the complementary function only. So they are completely dependent complementary function on particular integral. We should know how to get the complementary function. Now, let us proceed with the formula of particular integral and the methods to find the particular integral. All right. So before we actually consider the formula of particular integral, let us start with the formula of complementary function. So the complementary function we have obtained from the homogeneous differential equation, that is phi of d into y is equal to 0. To find the complementary function, we have considered the right hand side of the given differential equation is 0, and then we have solved this homogeneous differential equation. This is homogeneous differential equation. Homogeneous differential equation. We have solved it, and its solution is nothing but the complementary function. We have denoted by complement CF, or the general solution of this homogeneous differential equation itself is a complementary function if the right hand side is 0. And if the right hand side is non-zero, then complementary function will be the part of general solution. Remember. So here, the solution of this homogeneous differential equation is the complementary function we have denoted. So let us, for our convenience, let us denote this CF as a YC. This is for our convenience. So finally, when we solve this, we'll get CF, which is nothing but a value of dependent variable. Let us denote it by Y suffix C. C for complementary function. So CF as a YC. So CF or YC is a solution of this equation means what? Solution means what? When we solve any equation, any suppose linear, quadratic, cubic, and we are finding the roots of that equation, so we are getting the solutions. So what that solution means? Can anyone tell? What is the solution of?
Satisfies the equation.
Exactly, the solution is a value which satisfy that equation, right? So here, the solution CF is a solution of this homogeneous differential equation means it must have to satisfy the equation. So here, when I substitute this into this homogeneous, what I'll get? Phi of d into y suffix c is equal to 0, because that is a solution of this differential. Okay, either yc or we can substitute as a cf, but this notation is for our convenience for further calculations. So phi of d into yc is equal to 0. Okay, so we will proceed to find the particular integral with this now. So let y, or let particular integral be denoted by y suffix p, p for particular integral. So I can write this general solution, therefore general solution y will be a combination of cf and pi, that is cf plus pi, but in the new notation we can denote it as a y is equal to y suffix c plus y suffix p. Again, let me tell you, these notations are for our convenience. These are not the standard notations. The standard notations are cf and pi. Okay, to avoid the confusion. So as this is the general solution, that means it must have to satisfy this linear differential equation with constant coefficient, right? So when I substitute the value of y here into this, what I'll get? Y, that is phi of d into y is equal to f of x. So let us substitute this y. Therefore, phi of d into y is y suffix c plus y suffix p is equal to function of x, isn't it? And when we split this operator over these two sub solutions, that will be phi of d into y suffix c plus phi of d into y suffix p is equal to function of x, isn't it? But from the previous discussion, what we can say, this phi of d into yc is what? Phi of d into yc is 0, right? So I can substitute that 0 here. So 0 plus phi of d into yp is equal to f of x, right? So therefore I can write the value of yp from this. So what will be the value of yp from this? Yp is equals to what? F of x into 1 upon phi of d, or f of x upon phi of d. Is it okay? So this is the formula for the particular integral. So let me write again. Pi is nothing but yp, and that is nothing but 1 upon phi of d into f of x. Now why I am separating this 1 upon phi of d from this? Because it has a special meaning. 1 upon phi of d and f of x is a function of x. Okay, so just like phi of d, what is phi of d? Or what is d first of all? What is d? Capital D. D is a
d by dx.
Yes, it is a differential operator. It is operator. That is not a function. It doesn't have any value. It is operator. When we operate that onto a function, it differentiates function. Okay, so that capital D is an operator. So function of capital D is again an operator. Just like if D is operator, then D plus 1 is also operator. D plus 2D is also operator. D plus 2D plus 3 is also operator. So function of D is also operator. So phi of D is also operator. So 1 upon phi of D is also operator. So I have separated that operator and I am applying, or I am operating that operator over the function f of x. So here is the formula for particular integral. Pi is equals to 1 upon phi of d into f of x. Okay. Now what is the meaning of this 1 upon phi of d? Just like phi of d is a differential operator, what is 1 upon phi of d? So it is inverse of differential. So what is inverse of difference? What is the inverse of differential? It is
Integration.
integration. Exactly. So that is why the name is integral, particular integral, because it is integration of something, some function, because it is inverse of differentiation. So I can write here where is it visible? Okay, where 1 upon phi of d is called inverse differential operator. Is it okay up to this? Inverse differential operator. So if you want to write, you can write So only the important thing is the formula of particular integral. But if you want the explanation, you can write it. If you have any doubt, please ask regarding the formula. Any doubt? Yash Gupta? Mr. Yash Gupta?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt in the formula of
No, sir.
particular integral?
No, sir.
Okay, fine. Is the board clearly visible?
Yes, sir.
If not, please let me know. Okay. So the formula of particular integral is 1 upon phi of d into f of x, where 1 upon phi of d is an inverse differential operator, or it is called integral operator. Okay. So let us proceed with the formula of particular integral. Particular integral that is pi. Pi this is equals to 1 upon phi of d into f of x. Now tell me, if the right hand side of given differential equation is 0, then what the value of this particular integral is? If the right hand side of given differential equation is 0, this is our given
Zero.
differential equation, isn't it?
Zero,
So
zero.
f of x is 0. So integration of 0 is again 0. So particular integral will be 0 in that case. That's why we say CF YC is the only solution, because YP will be 0, right? So in case of homogeneous differential equation, YC is the only solution, complementary function is the only solution, and that is the general solution. All right. So there are three methods to find the particular integral methods. First is general, second is shortcut, and third is method of variation of parameter. General, shortcut, and method of variation of parameter. Okay, so as the name is general, that means this is a general method which is applicable to all examples. Any kind of linear differential equation with constant coefficient, if we have, we can get its particular integral by this method, general method. But as it is applicable to all, it is lengthier one, isn't it? Because it is theoretical, descriptive method, isn't it? So that is why the name is general method. Now the shortcut. Shortcut means we have some shortcuts, we have some formulas by which directly we can get the value of particular integral. That is why the name is shortcut method. But again, there are some restrictions on shortcut because if we have this f of x on the right hand side function, if we have this f of x of special type, then only we can have some shortcut for find the particular integral. So there are restrictions on shortcut. Okay, and then the last is method of variation of parameter method, which is completely different than general and shortcut method. This is completely different, and which is very, very important, because later in 2015 pattern, this method was asked for 4 marks and compulsory. It was there. Though there is option for general and shortcut, either solved by general or shortcut, but this is compulsory asked there by mentioning the name solved by method of variation of parameter. So you should know this method. So if you know, see, in 2015 pattern, there were 3 questions and we have asked to solve 2 out of 3 for 8 marks, 4 marks each. So out of those 3 questions, one will be definitely on method of variation of parameter, isn't it? In 2019 pattern also the same thing we have. Method of variation of parameter method is very important. 100% there will be a question on this method. Okay, so we'll discuss in detail, don't worry. So let us start with the general case, so that when we discuss the general method and its example, then you will come to know the importance of shortcut and method of variation of parameter. Though the general method is very important, okay, because that is only the tool we have in general case for any question. If you are not remember the formulas of shortcut and method of variation of parameter. Anyway, so the first is general method. Let us start with the general method. General method. So to discuss the formula to find particular integral by general method, let us start with the standard form of linear differential equation with constant coefficient. We know the standard form of LDE with constant coefficient. In its reduced form is phi of d into y is equal to some function of x. Okay. In general, we have considered this phi of d or this differential equation is of nth order, right? So since it is of nth order, it will have n roots and n number of arbitrary constants in the complementary function that we have discussed in detail. Now, for our sake of convenience and the formula purpose, let us restrict this phi of d to first order only. Then we will proceed, or we will extend to second order, third order, and then nth order. Is it okay? So if this phi of d is of order 1, or if this differential equation is of order 1, that means linear differential equation of first order, first degree, then how many roots it will have? How many roots it will have? One root, right? First order, that means one root. So let us say that root is m in general, m. Okay. So let LDE of first order, let linear differential equation of first order, therefore it will have one root and therefore one factor, right? So I'm writing the factor form of this phi of d. So if m is root, then what is the factor corresponding to m? If we have m as a root, then the factor corresponding to m is exactly d minus m. So let m be a root of phi of d, then I can write factor phi of d into its factored form, that is d minus m into y is equal to f of x. Is it okay? This is the factored form of phi of d, or the differential equation. Now let us operate this operator onto this dependent variable y, like dy minus my is equal to f of x. All right, but d is nothing but what? Differential operator, that is d by dx. So d by dx of y, that is dy by dx minus my is equal to f of x. And this is the standard form of linear differential equation of first order, first degree, right? We have discussed and we have solved such examples in M2. So this is LD with, I'm writing here, LDE of first order, first degree. So what is the solution of this? We have its standard solution. What is that? Therefore, is it visible? Okay. Therefore, its solution is, what is the solution of this? Exactly, y into integrating factor is equal to integration of q into integrating factor plus constant of integration, right? Provided that this q must be a function of x, because x is the independent variable and y is dependent variable. In case of x dependent and y independent, we'll have x into I is equal to integration of q, where q is a function of y there. All right, into integrating factor plus constant of integration, where what is the formula of integrating factor? I is equals to, where I is equal to e to the power integration of p of x dx. Right? So, if we apply this formula to the solution of this differential equation, what it will be? The solution will be, I'm writing, okay, here. Okay. So, what is p of x here? What is p of x here?
Minus m.
Exactly. P of x is minus m and q of x is f of x. P of x is minus m and q of x is f of x. So what will be the integrating factor? Therefore, I is equal to e to the power integration of minus
Minus
m dx. And therefore, which is equal to integration of e raised to minus m will be outside, integration of dx will be x. So that is the value of integrating factor. Is it okay? Integrating factor is e to the power minus mx. So let us substitute into the solution. Therefore, solution is see, actually we are solving linear differential equation of first order first degree, linear differential equation with constant coefficient of first order first degree. That means we are solving the linear differential equation of first order first degree, like the solutions we have discussed in M2, right? So the same solution here for the first order first degree, remember, there is no difference. But then we are going to extend the concept of linear differential, we are going to extend the concept of solution of LD with constant coefficient of first order first degree to the linear differential equation of any degree. Sorry, linear differential equation of any order, but degree must be 1. Okay, we are going to extend the concept of this. So right now we are discussing only the case of first order first degree. So the solution is y into integrating factor, that is e raised to minus mx is equal to integration of q of x. What is q of x there? P of f of x into e to the power minus mx dx plus constant of integration. Is it visible? Let me tilt the camera. Okay. Okay, this is the solution. So, let us divide by e raised to minus mx on both sides. So, when I divide e raised to minus mx on both sides, what I'll get? Y is equal to e raised to, see, 1 upon e raised to minus mx will be e raised to plus mx. So, e raised to mx integration of e raised to minus mx f of x dx, right? F of x dx plus c e to the power e raised to mx. And this is the solution of linear differential equation with constant coefficient of first order first degree. Is it okay? Complete solution, in fact. Complete solution. So as we know, for linear differential equation with constant coefficient, its general solution or the complete solution will be a combination of two sub-solutions. One is complementary function and other is particular integral. So what is the complementary function of this? When I equate this right hand side to 0, when I consider the right hand side to 0, then I'll get the complementary function, the solution of that differential equation. A homogeneous differential equation will be the complementary function. So what is the solution? Can you find here within seconds? Because that complement
e raised to mx.
mx, because we find the complementary function using the root of auxiliary equation. Here the root is m. So based on that root, whether the root is real or repeated or real or distinct or complex, distinct, complex, repeated, we have the formulas. Okay. But in general, we have discussed the formula that if m1, m2, mn are the root, then the complementary function is c1 e raised to mx or m1x plus c2 e raised to m2x and so on. So here m is root, therefore the complementary function will be c e raised to mx, and that we are having here into the general solution. As we have proved that this is the general solution, complete solution. So it will be a combination of two sub-solutions. So one is complementary function, you can see here, that is already there. This is complementary function, and the rest thing is what? Rest thing must be a particular integral, and that is what the formula of particular integral. Okay, so let me write again the formula. of particular integral by general method.
Sir, can we reduce that formula? Y is equal to integration f of x only.
This formula,
Huh?
how to reduce further?
Uh, e raised to mx and e raised to minus mx, they get cut. So we can write, can we write
No,
it
no, no,
as
no, no.
integration?
How
Or
they will
is
cut?
it?
See. This e raised to minus this e raised to mx will be outside integration. Huh? This is outside the integration and this is inside the integration, and that is a function of x. And this integration is a integration with respect to x. So it is not possible to take this either outside or this into inside, isn't it? This is independent of integral. Remember, and this is depends on integral. Okay, so they will not cut to each other. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
So it is not possible to simplify further. That is why that is the last form of the particular integral. So let me write y is equal to cf plus pi. Therefore, we have already discussed the case for cf. So here, if when we compare this general solution, okay, let me tilt the camera. Okay, y is equal to cf plus pi. So already we have discussed the case for cf. When we compare this with that last solution, then cf is what? Cf is c e raised to mx, and pi is what? Pi is equal to e to the power mx integration of e to the power minus mx f of x dx. Is it okay with the formula? Any doubt up to this? Please ask if any doubt up to this formula. This is the first formula of particular integral. So if you have a doubt in any of the step, please ask. Any doubt, students? So therefore, am I audible? Hello?
Yes, sir. Sir, in that pi, one term is it missing? C plus c e raised to minus mx?
No,
E raised to
no,
mx?
no. See here, actually that was the general solution, right? That was the complete
Okay.
solution of linear differential equation of first order, first degree. And we have discussed linear differential equation with constant coefficient involves the two sub-solutions. One is CF and other is PI. So we have evaluated CF, and that is C e raised to mx. That is already there in the solution. The last, you can see, this is CF, complementary function. So that is why the rest thing we have denoted by particular integral. This is particular integral, PI. Okay, PI. So y is equal to CF and PI. So CF is C e raised to mx and PI is e raised to mx integration of e raised to minus mx f of x dx. Is it okay, the doubt?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And that is the first formula by general method to find the particular integral. So let me write the formula by particular integral. Particular integral is 1 upon phi of d into f of x, but that phi of d in this case it is d minus m, isn't it? Phi of d is d minus m into f of x. F of x is okay, f of x only, and that is nothing but this. So that is equal to, I'm writing, it is equal to e to the power mx integration of e raised to minus mx f of x dx. This is the formula, first formula to find the particular integral. Please ask if any doubt. So when I am operating one operator onto f of x, or 1 upon that operator onto f of x, that means e raised to mx, e raised to minus mx f of x dx. For example, if you are still confused with the formula, let me explain with the example. For example, 1 upon, simple example, d plus 1, or say as it is minus here, 1 upon d minus 1. And let us take f of x as a e raised to x. So what it will be? It is equals to, let me take, it is 2 here, suppose 2, okay, so that you'll not be confused with the integration. And let me take here 3 also. Okay, so what is the m here? M is 2. So So with the formula, it is e raised to 2x, integration of e raised to minus 2x. Is it okay? And into
Yes,
f of x, where f of x is e raised to 3x dx. So what it will be? Here e raised to minus 2x into e raised to 3x will be, both are inside the integration. So now we can merge
raised
them
to-
because the base is e same. So we can add the powers. That is e raised to minus 2x plus 3x. That is e raised to x. So e to the power 2x into integration of e raised to x dx. And what is integration of e raised to x?
e raised to x.
Yes.
E raised
Is it visible? So that is e raised to 2x into e raised to x. That is e raised to 3x. 3x, right? And that is the value of particular integral in this case. Is it okay with the formula?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that is very important formula. If m is root, then how to operate or how to get the particular integral by the factor corresponding to m. So let me extend this formula for, now tell me, if minus m is root, then what will be the factor?
D plus m.
D plus m. So this is the first formula. Now the second formula is, if minus m, I'm not writing in detail now. If minus m is root, then the factor will be d plus m. Okay. So therefore the particular integral will be, I'm directly writing the formula. Particular integral will be 1 upon d plus m into f of x is equal to. Now can you tell me the further formula like this? Yes. What will be the particular integral in this case? It will be e to the power minus mx
minus x minus m
mx.
mx into f of x dx. Is it okay? So if minus m is root, then we just have to exchange these values. Here it will be minus and here it will be plus. Okay. So for example, let us discuss again this with example. 1 upon d plus 2 e raised to 3x. It will be e raised to minus 2x integration of e raised to 2x into e raised to 3x dx, because this is f of x. So what it will be? E raised to minus 2x integration of e raised to 5x dx. And therefore, I hope you are writing, you are dictating the notes. If you are not writing, then also no problem. I am sending this video also, and I have sent already the notes also, so don't need to worry. And even you can ask the doubts later on also. So don't worry. Just try to get the things instead of just dictating the notes. So e raised to minus 2x and integration of e raised to 5x will be e raised to
5x
5x upon 5. Isn't it? And that is your value of particular integral. Very easy. Okay. Now the question is, these are the formulas for first order differential equation, but that is not the case always, no? We are solving linear differential equation of any order. So what if the order is 2, 3, 4 and so on? How to apply the general method and so on? So these questions might be there in your mind. So let me discuss the formula number 3. If we have so what was the first formula? First formula was pi is equal to 1 upon d minus m into f of x. That is equal to e raised to mx integration of e raised to minus mx f of x dx. Okay. And now third one is for second order differential equation. I'm not going to write second order and those two factors. I'm directly writing the formula now. Pi is equals to, suppose if we have two roots, that means two factors, right? So let us write d minus m1 and d minus m2. Is it okay? This is phi of d or factor form of phi of d. Is it okay with this?
Yeah.
Okay. Phi of d, 1 upon phi of d into f of x. So what to do in this case? How to get the particular integral or how to use that formula? So that is only the last formula is, this formula is the only basic of general method. Remember, that is only the thing. So here I can write this as a 1 upon d minus m1 into 1 upon d minus m2 into f of x. Is it okay with this? And then I'll be able to use the first formula to this, because this is of the form 1 upon d minus m into f of x, and I know how to get the particular integral, or how to operate this 1 upon d minus m2 on f of x, right? That is nothing but this formula. So when I'll solve this using the first formula, I'll solve this integration value, isn't it? And then I'll get the value of this 1 upon d minus m into f of x, or the value of this 1 upon d minus m2 of f of x. I'll get the complete value. Let me denote that actually that value is the function of x, another function of x, right? Let me denote that function of x is capital F of x. That is just a notation. Okay. And onto that capital F of x, I'm going to operate this, or capital F of x, and I'm going to operate onto this f of x. This second operator will be 1 upon d minus m1 onto this f of x. And we know again how to operate this 1 upon d minus m onto f of x using the same formula. So repeatedly, जितना आपके पास फैक्टर हो गए उतनी बार आपको ये फॉर्मूला यूज करना है, isn't it? So repeatedly we are going to apply this formula according to the requirement. Okay, so that is only the thing. I'm writing this is equals to, or let me write its solution. What the solution will be here? It is e raised to m2x integration of e raised to minus m2x f of x dx. Is it okay? So when I solve this integration, that integration value into this will be a complete function of x. Let us denote it by capital F of x. Okay, or let it add as it is, and then onto that function we operate this operator. So what it will be? E raised to m1x integration of e raised to minus m1x and the previous complete f of x. This f of x, that is e raised to m2x integration of e raised to minus m2x f of x dx. Okay, this dx and plus. Okay, that is a value of required particular. Any doubt? So this is the formula in case of roots more than one or second order, and similar thing we have to follow in higher orders, third order, fourth order, and so on. Any doubt with the formula? Please ask.
सर सब में कितना मैक्स पावर का आता है?
कितना भी आपको अभी यूनिवर्सिटी एग्जाम में, एसपीपी एग्जाम्स में max up to 3 order, but it is not necessary. In gate examinations, that power may be up to 10, isn't it? Just like in the last example, yesterday we have solved the example of order 10, isn't it? So you should know the thing.
Okay, sir.
Paper setter can make it complicated according to the number of roots and number of these factors. Okay, so we should be able to write, or we should be able to solve the question in any condition. But that is not the case, don't worry. For general method, the question will be asked max up to second order only. Don't need to worry. Okay, but we should be able to do the case if it is asked for third order, fourth order, and so on. Just remember the theme. We have to operate this operator one by one. Okay, and again the thing is that order is not important. Here I have operated 1 upon d minus m2. You can operate 1 upon d minus m1 also. Okay, it is not necessary because these roots are in multiples, and we know in multiplication, our multiplication is commutative, right? So I can operate this operator according to my convenience. Is it okay? So it will be our choice to select those operators while operating. So this is the third formula, and these are the only formulas in the general method. These are not actually the specific formulas. The first formula is the only formula onto which this second and third formula depends, isn't it? So if you remember the first formula and its theme to write that formula, then you'll be able to write the second and third one. Is it okay with the formulas of general method, or any doubt? in case of general method? Please ask so that we can proceed with the questions.
Sir,
Yes.
here are the roots real or complex also apply the same formula?
Any kind of root. Any kind. The roots may be real, roots may be complex, or the roots are the combination of real and complex also. So in any kind of roots, we have to proceed with the same thing. Don't need to worry. What will happen? If the roots are complex, these factors will be complex, right?
Yes.
These factors will be complex means these integrations will be complex integration. We can solve them even. Only I will be there.
Okay.
Okay. So nothing to worry with the complex roots. As the
Sir,
name is complex. Huh? Yes.
if roots are repeated and all, we'll go in
Uh-huh.
this manner only, no? Or
Yes.
there is any condition?
No, there is no condition. We can, or even one more thing. Okay, if the roots are repeated, then also we'll go in this manner. We'll operate one by one. Or we have one more option. If the roots are distinct, we can separate these two roots by. There is one method to separate the two brackets or the two factors. What is that method? Is that method is called method of dash dash. I want to know from your side. What is that method? Can we separate the two factors in the denominator, or not only two? We can separate the several factors in the denominator. Yes? Okay. That method is partial fraction. Definitely you have used that method in, I think, 12th or in the last year also, M1, M2. So that by method of partial fraction, we can separate these two factors. We'll be able to write a upon this factor plus b upon this, and then we'll operate that operator onto f of x. So when we take f of x inside, then one operator into f of x plus second operator into f of x. So in that case also, we have to use the same formula. Okay. So that is also the thing. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So write on the question now. Write an example. Solve the following differential equations. Solve the following differential equations. First is d2y by dx square plus 3dy by dx plus d2y by dx square plus 3dy by dx plus 2y is equal to e to the power x.
So repeat
See,
once more.
e to the power x, double exponential. Okay. If you have a space there, you can write one remark there in general method. That is not remark. Actually, that may be the trick. We can say this method, general method, is generally used when the right hand side function is of this form, double exponential or a composite function. Do you know composite function? Composite function means function inside function. So in case of composite function, in case of double exponential function, or in case of rational function also, we have no option. We can use general method. So write down the remark there. Remark. Generally this method is used. Generally, this method is used when f of x, that small f of x, when f of x is of the form, when f of x is of the form e to the power x, or e to the power ax, when f of x is of the form this, or composite functions or trigonometric functions or rational functions etc. Again, there is no restriction, but this is the trick we can say. Don't need to confused if the right hand side is double exponential. Directly apply the general method because there is no option. Okay. If the right hand side is composite, what is mean by composite function? Composite functions, suppose like this, sine of e raised to x. Here we have two functions. One is sine and one is exponential function. So such functions are called composite function. Okay. Then trigonometric functions like sine, cos, or tan, cot, sec, cosec, whatever. But in shortcut, we have the case for sine and cos only. So in that case, we have the two options, either this general or shortcut. Anyways, rational functions. What are the rational functions? Rational functions are of the form p of x upon q of x, where this denominator function q of x must be non-zero. Then in case of this right hand side, we have no option, only the general method. Is it okay? So we have to use the general method if the right hand side function is of this form. Okay, so let us proceed with the example. We know the first step towards the solution is what? Introduce an operator capital D. So solution, let capital D, three lines are there. Three lines means what? Equivalent, that is not equal. And we are using such lines or three lines in case of operator. Okay, so D is equivalent to derivative with respect to x. So introduce this capital D into this. We will get d square plus 3d plus 2 times y. I am directly taking the independent variable outside the operator is equal to e to the power x. Okay, now its general solution is its general or complete solution. Let me write, as this is the first example, so let me write in detail. General or complete solution is, we know y is equal to CF plus PI, complementary function plus particular integral. Therefore, to find complementary function, let me write in short, to find CF, what is our first step? Consider homogeneous differential equation. What is that? D square plus 3d plus 2 times y equal to 0. This is the homogeneous differential equation. That means we have considered the right hand side to be 0. Okay. So its auxiliary equation is it visible? Its auxiliary equation is, what is the auxiliary equation of this?
D square plus 3d plus 2 equal to 0.
Equal to 0, exactly. So write that auxiliary equation, d square plus 3d plus 2 equal to 0. This is the auxiliary equation. So the roots of auxiliary equation are, the roots are d equal to, yes, we can
-1, -2.
-1, -2. There are several options again to find the roots. By splitting middle term is one of the option, or by quadratic formula is the last option. Quadratic formula is general, or by using completing square method also you can find the roots, isn't it? So the roots are real and distinct, right? So with these roots, we know the formula to find the complementary function. CF is equal to, yes, Directly apply the formula C1 e to the power
C1
m1. That
minus
m1 is minus x, isn't it? Or you can even take minus 2 also. Don't need to worry. Order is not important. Plus C2 e to the power minus 2x. And this is the complementary function. In latter pattern, up to this, you'll get 1 mark or 2 marks according to the difficulty level of getting the roots. Here you can get these roots by easily by calculator. So definitely this will be for 1 mark. But sometimes it is not possible to use calculator, isn't it? In case of 4th order, 5th order. So in that case, you will get 2 marks up to the complementary function. So this is our first sub solution, the value of CF. I hope it is clear to everyone. Now to find, this is a detailed solution, to find particular integral. Okay, I'm writing like this, particular, because you may ask that I don't know the solution spelling. Particular integral, that is pi. To find particular integral, what is the main formula to find pi? Pi is equal to 1 upon phi of d into f of x. We always have to start with this formula. Okay, 1 upon phi of d into f of x. This is a general formula of particular integral. So let us substitute phi of d and f of x. Here phi of d is what? D square.
plus 1 into d plus
Exactly. Let me write first of all that is given in the question, and then we'll write into it factored form, because to use the general method we need factored form, right? So we can write it the next step. So d square plus 3d plus 2 into f of x. Here f of x is e to the power x. But as we know the general method based on the factors, so let us write this phi of d into its factored form. What are the factors? As the roots are minus 1 and minus 2, the factors are d plus 1 and d plus 2. So therefore, this polynomial I can write into its factor form d plus 1 and d plus 2. Or d plus 2 into d plus 1. Okay. Now, purposively, I have taken d plus 1 here because I am going to operate 1 upon d plus 1 first. That is my choice. Because why I have selected d plus 1 first? Because here e to the power 1x there. If it is e raised to 2x, then I would have select 1 upon d plus 2. Okay. So that is the smart work. Even in this case also, I can operate 1 upon d plus 2, but the integration, further integration will be complicated. Is it? We may get confused in the calculations. So to avoid such confusions, try to make it simple. So using the general method, we know the formula. Let me write 1 upon d plus 2, and then 1 upon d plus 1, we operate onto the function e raised to x. I hope everyone is clear up to this. Everyone is okay up to this. Please ask if any doubt. Any doubt? Abhijit have given the solution. Okay, let me check. Good. So, operate 1 upon d plus 1 onto f of x. I hope you are trying your own 1 upon d plus 2. And then when we operate 1 upon d plus m onto f of x, we know the formula. So it will be e raised to minus mx, that is e raised to minus x, integration of e raised to x into f of x, that is e raised to x dx. Is it visible? Okay, yes. So now let us solve this integration. How to solve this integration? Using the substitutions, isn't it? We know the substitution for this integration. We substitute e raised to x is equal to t. So e raised to x into dx becomes dt. Let me consider separately. Consider integration e raised to x into e raised to x dx. Put e raised to x is equal to t. So e raised to x, its derivative will be e raised to x into dx will be dt. Or when we differentiate this with respect to x, then what it will be? E raised to x. And here, in derivative of t with respect to x will be dt by dx, isn't it? So we are taking this dx to the left hand side. So e raised to x dx will be dt. All right. So e raised to x, e raised to x here, e raised to x into dx will be dt, and this will be e raised to t. So therefore, this integration is integration e raised to t dt will be equals to e raised to t only. But what is t? It is e raised to x. T is e raised to x. All right. So this is the value of this integration. Let us substitute into this, and therefore, let me write here. Okay. Actually, this is not the lengthier one. Since we are writing in detail, that is why it's getting lengthy. But once you are familiar with the steps and all, you can skip some steps. Steps are even the calculations are not important. You can directly write the root and hence the complementary function, isn't it? So therefore pi is equal to 1 upon d plus 2 into e raised to minus x, and the value of that integration is e raised to x. Is it okay up to this? And now operate 1 upon d plus 2 onto this new f of x. This is new f of x. So that is equals to e to the power minus 2x integration of e to the power 2x into f of x, that is e raised to minus x e raised to x dx. So that is e raised to minus 2x integration of e raised to 2x into e raised to minus x e raised to x e raised to x dx, isn't it? Now already we have evaluated this value of integration here, so don't need to again evaluate or don't need to again consider that integration. Directly we can substitute. Therefore, which is equals to e raised to minus 2x into e raised to x, because the value of this integration is e raised to x only, and that is our required particular integral. Okay, and therefore the solution is, general solution is y is equal to cf plus pi. What is cf here? It is c1 e raised to minus x plus c2 e raised to minus 2x and plus pi. Pi is e raised to minus 2x e raised to x. This is a complete solution for 4 marks in the Latin pattern. And now here, this is for 5 to 6 marks, definitely. 5 to 6 marks in 2019 pattern. So see, this is very, very easy. And as it is easy, most of the students prefer the linear differential equations instead of the transforms in the next unit. So please ask if any kind of doubt in the first solution or the first example, or if you have a doubt with the complementary function and particular integral, please ask. Yes. Any doubt? Any doubt? Hello students, any doubt with the solution?
No, sir.
Any doubt? Okay. So write down the next one as a homework. d2y by dx square plus dy by dx is equal to 1 upon 1 plus e raised to x. The next question is, d2y by dx square plus dy by dx equals to 1 upon 1 plus e raised to x. Take it as a homework. Try it your own. And now send me its solutions on Google Classroom. Send me the solution of second on Google Classroom. Okay. So we stop here.
Sir, and
Yes.
is the portion going to change or whether it will remain the same?
Portion is remain same.
Okay,
I'll,
so then for a reference book,
huh?
can we purchase it now, or are there any changes going to be there?
Actually, there is only 1.1 topic which is introduced newly in this 2019 pattern. But I'll suggest don't need to purchase the reference books, local publication books. If you purchase reference books like Greenberg or EN, I think engineering mathematics, higher engineering mathematics, is it? So then it is okay. But don't purchase local books like Nirali and technical or all. So everything I'll provide. Don't need to worry. But even for example purpose also, I will give you the question bank, which includes many more questions. You can have a practice over those questions, isn't it? But if you still want to purchase, you can go to the technical publication. That is, I'll prefer the technical publication and then Nirali, isn't it? But don't need to purchase that book also. Okay, shall we stop now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir.